Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. Today we're discussing the Tag Heuer Carrera. It's been around since 1963, always associated with motorsports. It's known by that association as well as its strong angular integrated lug profiles. This one in steel is 44 millimeters in diameter, 15.5 millimeters thick, lug-to-lug. 49.6 millimeters, end link to end link. The total distance across the wrist is 52.9 millimeters, and it has a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. This is a big watch. I would even say an oversized watch. I can wear it, but I think my wrist is probably the smallest that can. So if your wrist is 16 centimeters circumference and up, game on. If your wrist is smaller, there are now many smaller Carreras available. Taking a quick look at the bracelet, you can see it's substantial. It's got an unusual design, sort of an H pattern almost for Heuer built in, where we have these flanking links. We have center primaries and then polished center secondaries. You can see here, designed to be sized quite easily. We've got quite a few removable links built in, and on each side we have an intermediate size link in case you find yourself in between sizes and you need to fine tune. A thick gauge steel single swing arm, quite robust. Close it up. There's your Tag Heuer logo. Twin trigger release, so you have to press both of those triggers for it to pop open. One will not do it. Taking a look at the case now, those famous angular lugs dating back to 1963. And that has been the tie that binds every Carrera since. There have even been Carreras that are not chronographs, but they've always featured these lugs. We have polish, we have satin for contrast. You can see vintage-inspired pump pushers, and that their barrels have been blackened. We have a double row knurling with a little blackened collar on the crown, and the crown is a push-down crown, but you can see as we turn the watch over, nevertheless, it advertises 100-meter water resistance, so you can absolutely swim with this. You can see we've got an integrated end link to mate the bracelet cleanly to the case. And we've got nice little details, like you can see how there's satination on the outer face of this pusher, and then there's a polished bevel, and then the shoulder of the pusher is satin brushed. And that the same is true for the guide, the little guide tube for the pusher. We've got a bezel that is satin finished outboard, a vertical lip giving way to a conical edge, and you can see we have a tachymetric scale that can be used in conjunction with the chronograph to gauge the speed of an object, such as a car on a racetrack. So if the car starts the kilometer, you start the chronograph, and as the car finishes the kilometer, you stop the chronograph, you look, and so 80 was the speed. That's how that works. Generally taken to mean 80 kilometers per hour. Now, we also have a little bit of nuance on this bezel. So you can see we've got the brushed portion, but the inner calibration is actually polished. A little bit of a box and camber to the sapphire on a metallic sunburst green dial. We have raised registers for your chronograph hours and minutes with concentric patterns inside, and then running seconds and a date. It is the Heuer 02. It does have an 80-hour power reserve. They're not lying. And then we have this track that is stepped outboard against which you can read minutes, seconds, and fractions of seconds. We have rhodium-plated steel hands and indices. We're going to do a quick loom shot here. So you can see the watch is well loomed. It's got a couple of features we can call out now. Hacking or stop seconds. We've also got a quick set so you can rapidly cycle the date if you need to. We have a column wheel chronograph for super crisp feel, and then a vertical clutch, so when the chronograph seconds hand starts, it does so without extraneous movement. Now, lateral clutches always have inherent movement, but a vertical clutch has no play, so it starts seamlessly and keeps true time. Also, if you want to leave your chronograph engaged full-time with a vertical clutch, you can do that without any additional wear and tear. Out back, Heuer H02. This movement, past and present, has been through many different names. What it is, though, is the Tag Heuer manufactured movement with 80 hours of power reserve, a 4 Hz beat rate, 33 joules, hacking, quickset, vertical clutch, and column wheel. It's decently sized to fill these large case backs, and you can see it uses a combination of Edicron for fine adjustment of both timing and beat error. It has a small eccentric screw for very fine timing adjustments, and unexpectedly it uses KIF shock protection, which is a sort of boutique-y alternative to Inca block that you might expect to see on older Rolex watches, Jaeger LeCoultre or Zenith. So I'm a bit surprised to see it here. And as you can see, the movement's good looking, though it's not artisanal. You can see the column wheel in action, and I will opine that this is one of the best feeling and sounding column wheels I've encountered. If you love this watch, reach out, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.